Arturia, where to start? French Uli Berenger wannabe, some people says. Brave innovators and pioneers of a digital frontier, other people say. I'd say them croissant dudes are very uneven. From good hardware synths to a poor VST copy of famous synthesizers, from drum brute to soy latte stage keyboard with a thermostat, they've been everywhere. All I can say for certain is that their hardware look good. From Astrolab to their MIDI controllers, all of that is beautiful and stylish. But today we are going to talk about a strange one. Ugly software synthesizer, which is not actually a cheap copy. Yes, Arturia Acid V is a copy of 303 sound, but that's like saying that Ibanez Super Strat is still a copy of Fender Stratocaster, right? The water under the bridge, and has been there for a long time. I've tried many 303 VSTs, and most of them good. Surprisingly, 303 software was always good, and I have about 5 of said plugins and enjoy all of them. Can't say that about hardware though. Anyways, we all know I love acid genre and look for new ways to write it. I simply could not walk by an acid plugin made by Big Studio. And the Big Studio delivered. It's an acid through and through. Also, pleasure to use. Menu diving is not existent. Easy on CPU, sometimes, a lot of convenient UI design elements, and some really good quality of life improvements over original. Looking at it, I can say that this software synthesizer is the child of love, not marketing. Arturia could have limited themselves to another 303 mock shot with some samples like many others have done. Slap a price tag on it and move on. No one would even notice that. But they invested a lot of time and passion into it. And it shows when you use it. And I gotta say, it's not cheap. In fact, it costs more than the hardware TD3 these days. But I use a demo version. It lasts for 20 minutes, which is fine by me. 20 minutes is a third of an entire hour. It's more than enough to make a sequence. And let me tell you, if 20 minutes is not enough for you to make a 16-step loop, you're not cut for it, buddy. You make a sequence, spice it up, render to WAV file, and you're good to go. Now let's play a preset. Well, there's so many of them, and all of them are good and ready to use. Told y'all that guys work hard on it, remember? Let's tweak it and see and hear what this baby is capable of. I was not able to map Arturia MIDI keyboard to a plugin because it gave me a weird bug and the knobs was not responding and nothing was mapped by default to the knobs and faders. But anyway, MIDI and mapping is a pain in the neck. This is another reason I don't like software, because MIDI mapping drivers is always a constant source of a pain. And this thing required drivers in 2025 on Windows 10. Dear God. You can hear some similarities to Roland ACB digital stuff like T8 AC circuit and their other digital toys. But that's not all. strongest suit of this plugin is the drive and distortion. Sweet, fat, and not harsh at all. When you combine it with all the effects on board, you can get any sound you want, from esoteric pads to crunchy leads. Brilliant. Sequencer is too easy to use. Just look at this little UI wonder. After we found a sequence we like, we can drag and drop it to any other synth. You know, I told you all about quality of life improvements. This is one of them. In my case, I'm using Ronan Fat Pneuma Pro. Ronan is a legend, and everyone should have his plugins. Then I will add another very interesting acid plugin called Transistor Bass. It's also very unique, but that's a story for another time, because there's a lot of acid plugins that deserve a whole freaking review. One bad thing about it, the encoders are not snappy and fast even when you use a controller. I was not able to move them the way I wanted even when I resorted to using a mouse. That's a problem. 303 is not your regular synthesizer. It's the most physical piece of gear I own, and it really depends on the correct transmission of your hand movement to, electrical system. This was not present in this plugin. Now let's tweak another preset to death. This time we'll make it harder. Also, we will draw our own modulation just because it's easy to manipulate. And let's use some weird effects. In fact, you can use combinations of them. Come on. I don't know about you, I absolutely loved it. Is it better than hardware? Well, not even close. Can you tell the difference? Yep, it's kinda obvious. Is it the reason to dismiss it? Nope. Some people say hardware is better for 303 sound, me included. But Acid V is not pure 303 emulation. It's a very fresh rendition of it. So many options, so many ways to manipulate the sound, and the sound itself is very good, gritty, buzzy, but not hurting your ears in the process. I can only imagine it being in hardware form, with all the necessary knobs and faders, screen and colors. Is it that hard to do? Even as a VST in the box without real DSP inside, just a cheap computer running the plugin, I bet my bottom dollar it is. But I guess this is what engineering stands for, doing things that is hard. I know it's a business and the idea is probably not profitable and probably requiring too much work and the sales will never be good enough. But maybe, just maybe, one day technology will be cheap enough to recreate olden VSTs in hardware form. Pourquoi pas? See you next time.